Welcome to Goldin Live. I'm Alex Giaimo. It's day 3 of the National here in Chicago. I'm coming at you live from the Goldin Auctions corporate booth. This place is popping with 150,000 people expected in attendance throughout the week. Almost 50% of them are newbies, including yours truly. I'm a rook to all of this, but I think I'm doing pretty well so far. It's exhausting. The women's national soccer team, though, just advanced to the semifinals in the Olympics, and that's good news for yours truly because I am a rookie and I am new to the hobby, but your girl brought her Alex Morgan lot to this place, and I'm already flipping 3 of those cards. But they won, and I'm thinking maybe I should have held. I don't know. But today, I'm going to have the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Ken Goldin, joining me, as well as sports card investor Geoff Wilson. So stay tuned. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, guys, I'm joined by the Goldin, Mr. Ken Goldin. You may know him. Ken, so nice to finally meet you in person. You exist in real life.
Yes, I do. Nice to meet you, Alex.
I got to tell you, I've hosted games at MetLife Stadium and Citi Field in front of 50,000 people. I'm a newbie to this hobby. I've never been more nervous because you're sort of a big deal, huh?
Hopefully, yeah. I mean, it's kind of strange. I mean, I've been in the business since I was 13, and suddenly the past 2 years, people care about me, and suddenly the past year, I'm probably the most well-known guy in the industry.
I mean, I've seen your security guard. Yeah. I might want to borrow him, okay? Because that guy looks like he works out a lot.
It's convenient if you need to go to a crowded bathroom, as you can imagine.
Speaking of bathrooms, the bathroom situation in this place for women, we got to work on that, people. It's not great. It's not great. Out of order? We exist too.
I can imagine.
We like to rip wax and cards.
Yep.
I'm sure your daughter feels the same way.
Yeah,
I heard she's a Syracuse girl. I went to Syracuse.
Yes, she is. Yep.
Was she in a sorority?
Yes, she is.
All right.
Tri-Delt.
Oh, my God. I was a Kappa.
Okay.
So we're technically enemies.
Okay.
So how many of these things have you been to? I mean, you've been in this since you're 13.
I think I was at every one. I was in a couple in the early 80s, and then I was at every one from 1987 through 2001.
Okay.
So then
you took a hiatus?
Then I took like a 5-year hiatus, and so I think over 25.
And 150,000 expected overall in attendance. What does that say about the state of the hobby right now?
It says that the hobby is absolutely incredible. It is on fire from the standpoint that, it's not just the number of people that are attending. It's the fact that people are attending. To me, if I look at 2018, I think the average age of the attendance is 15 years younger than it was.
Wow.
I used to walk into these shows and I'd see the same dealers, I'd see the same stuff at everybody's table, and I'd see the same stuff, same people looking at it. Now it's all different. All different.
Yeah.
It's all new stuff. It's all new attendees, and it is all new dealers.
It's literally almost 50% of people in attendance here are newcomers. I mean, if you think about that, that's like a jarring number. I'm obviously one of them.
Yeah, they said, I think Ray Schulte, the manager, told me that 56% of the people that are answering his survey
it's
answered.
56.
No, this is their first one ever.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
That's absolutely incredible. So I got to bring up myself a little bit. The women's U.S. national team just advanced to the semifinals.
Cool.
My girl is Alex Morgan. I have a slight obsession with her. My first lot I ever purchased on eBay was an Alex Morgan lot. I spent a little buck on it. I mean, it's not like a Mickey Mantle or anything, but for a girl like me, it was a lot of money. I flipped the cards, sent them to SGC, got them graded, got a couple 9.5s. One of my friends, who actually got me into cards, works for Card Talk Live, put my cards in his little cabinet thing, and I already sold 3 of them. But should I have held? Because they won.
Yeah, no, because and you look at what we sold the Mia Hamm for last month, like $34,000. So yeah, I think that women's trading cards are finally coming into their own. They're finding an audience. People are viewing them not only as historically important, but as a collectible and investable asset. And when that happens, the key female athletes like Alex Morgan, like Mia Hamm, like Serena Williams are the ones that people are going to be gravitating towards.
Let's talk about your non-sports auction you have coming up. You're dabbling into video games, comics. Talk to me about that.
So it's it's going to be, I believe, August 22nd through September 18th. It is our first ever all non-sports auction. It is 3 categories: comic books, TCGs, and video games. And it is going to be a monster. We're not going to be starting small. We're probably going to have a $10 million plus auction. We have things like Batman comic #1 in an 8.0. We have multi-million-dollar video games. We might break the record for the, Super Mario Brothers just broke a record at like 1.5. We have a game that might break that record. We've got unopened Pokemon. We've got Series 1. We've got Magic the Gathering. We're very excited about this expansion.
All right, so you brought up TCG, Pokemon.
Yep.
I was born in 1999. I was a huge Pokemon girl, and I'm not going to lie, my stuff is in some pretty good shape. Mm-hmm. Pokemon is exploding.
Yes, it is.
What is the potential there?
Pokemon is worldwide. I mean, you have to realize, people talk about basketball players and baseball players. A kid today might not know who Willie Mays is. They may know who Babe Ruth and Jackie Robinson are. They might not know some others. They might not know Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. They probably know LeBron. But you ask any kid what a Charizard is, any kid what a Pikachu is, anywhere around the world. Like literally, Australia, China, Japan, U.S., it is worldwide. So it is an unbelievable franchise and something that's going to only grow in popularity.
Is Paul into Pokemon, or is he just a sports dude?
Paul has
By the
Pokemon.
way, I love him. I have an obsession with Alex Morgan and Paul.
Paul has a Pokemon collection.
Is it good? I mean, it must be fire.
He plays with those, so it's more no first editions, stuff right off the, stuff you buy off the shelf today. His basketball and baseball card collection is a little bit better.
Your relationship with him is so special. I follow all the Paul breaks, all of them. You brought up vintage earlier. My dad has an awesome vintage baseball collection. I'm trying to get into the modern stuff. Just talk to me a little bit about how important, father-son, or even father-daughter, or mother-son-daughter relationships are, in the hobby. For it to keep growing like it is. I
mean, they're our future. I mean, realistically, the growth of the hobby is you have to get the young kids into it. They have to understand it. They have to enjoy it. They have the excitement. It's like funny because some people, when we break, say, "Oh, Paul's a little rough with the cards," and I'm saying, they go out and they play baseball at 6 years old. They don't sit there and do drills all day. They have fun. They want to teach them to enjoy it. So you teach them to enjoy collecting first without worrying about the value, without worrying about, is this a 50-cent card or is this a $500 card? So that's what I'm trying to do, trying to bond with him. He gets very excited every time he gets an autograph. He loves the 17th best prospect of the San Diego Padres.
He is like an encyclopedia. It's insane.
Yeah, I've had Danny Duffy contact me about him. I've had Evan Longoria.
No way.
Evan Longoria posted a video of Paul criticizing him on his Instagram story.
That's so cool.
And tagged me, and so we ended up doing a live.
What did he say? What did Paul say? What was the comment?
Paul said, Evan Longoria, horrible contract.
Oh.
He was just pulling one by one. Horrible contract. So Longoria, we did Longoria did a break, and they invited Paul and I to come on. So we came on. He goes, oh. They asked Evan, do you know Ken Goldin? He goes, no, I don't, but I know his son Paul. He's pretty rough. And they said, well, here they are. And I told Paul to apologize. And he goes, you've had a pretty good career. And I went, boom. He goes, great career, all-star career, first ballot Hall of Famer.
He's so fun. All right, I got to get the elephant out of the room. Everyone wants to know.
Sure.
Talk to me about the show. What's going on with that?
Sure.
Any news?
Yes, the show has been picked up. We start filming in the fall, whether it's late September or October. And it's not a documentary. It is a multi-episode reality series about the collectible industry.
Reality TV. So like Kim Kardashian style or what?
Well, look, I'll give you a little secret. The creators, obviously, creators of Pawn Stars are my producers.
Great show. I've been watching that forever.
We, however, have the launch of a new production company called Omaha Productions.
Omaha.
So
Omaha.
Peyton Manning is my executive producer.
Casual.
Yeah. So
Casual.
Peyton's the executive producer, and If I could, I'm not allowed to announce where it is, but I will say that it's going to be March or April of 2022, and it will be extremely easy to find. You will have no issue knowing exactly where it is at all times. Okay, it's not one of these obscure networks. If I could pick one of my top 2 or 3 picks, I got one of my top 2 or 3 picks. You know, my personal number 1, actually.
All right. Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you for
being here. I had a
here.
great time. I'm looking forward to learning more from you throughout the year. I think we're going to bring in sports card investor Geoff Wilson now.
Yes,
Let's
we are.
Bring him in. Bring him on in. The sports card investor himself, Geoff Wilson. I think you've done a bunch of these before. What is your experience so far at the National?
Oh, the National this year, the crowds, it's amazing. We're here, it's incredible. I mean, I thought the 2019 National was busy and exciting, and there's a lot going on. And the busiest day that I saw at the 2019 National was eclipsed by essentially the first day at the 2021 National, and so the crowds have been building all week, and it just tons of excitement on the show floor.
Well, it was a long year and a 2-year hiatus, so everyone's ready to go, amped up.
So everybody who owns it. So I own a 96 Topps Chrome box.
Okay.
And I'm very happy he's about to open one. Because what that means is there's one less Topps Chrome box in the world,
Right.
which makes mine inherently slightly more valuable because now the supply just went down by 1.
And
right?
that's why they call you the sports card investor.
That's I mean it's definitely a way to think about things.
Yeah.
And I've done better on sealed wax than I've done on individual cards over the last few years. I've done well on cards as well, for sure. I mean the whole market's been crazy hot, but in terms of like where you really want to park money long term, I love wax.
You love wax.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm in 100% agreement with him on that.
Amazing. So what else you got going on this week, Geoff?
Just a lot of stuff around the show floor. We're doing a lot of stuff for our Sports Card Investor YouTube channel. We've been doing some box breaks on the main stage. I'm about to do one with Ken here in a minute, which is going to be really exciting, and that's going to go out on our Sports Card Investor YouTube sometime in the next few days. We've been doing like daily vlogs from the shows and showing all kinds of cool stuff on the floor.
What are we ripping?
We are going to rip 2020 Prison Basketball, I believe.
Okay,
Ken and I are going to
so
battle
what are you
here in just
going
a
hunting
minute.
for?
So that's LaMelo Ball.
Gold LaMelos.
Yeah, gold LaMelos, but Anthony Edwards would be nice. And, there's a lot of interesting rookies. You don't have quite the star power in 2020 yet that what you've seen, in 2019 and 2018, but I think maybe people are sleeping on the 2020 class a little too much.
But you've got people like Wiseman who all of a sudden can come out and do well. They're all under 21.
Right.
So
Very young.
you have to realize is these guys can blossom later. Like a Devin Booker.
Yep, absolutely. Devin Booker's a great example.
Yep.
2015 wax was not particularly sought after. A year ago because people, there wasn't. It was lacking. I think that was maybe Porzingis was like one of the big names in that, and he kind of faded off. But now all of a sudden, Booker's cards are red hot. So that also means 2015 wax, which by the way is very difficult to find, very rare.
Right.
That stuff is really hot too.
Obviously, you guys are into the traditional sports cards. But what about footy or F1 racing? That's super hot right now, right?
F1 is. Soccer is.
Soccer's awesome.
Soccer is my third hottest sport right now.
Yeah.
It used to be when I started, I think from 2012 to 2019, we didn't sell a single soccer card over 100,000. From 2012 to 2015, the total gross dollars of all soccer we sold was probably under $100,000.
Wow.
For those years. In my current auction, I have 4 soccer cards at least that will go for over $100,000 individually.
And the World Cup is coming here soon, so
Exactly.
that's going to help, right?
Yep.
You got the World Cup next year overseas, but then in 4 more years, it's here in the U.S.
Yep.
I think soccer cards are
Nice 5-year run.
An absolute
Buy
great
people,
investment.
buy them.
Absolute great investment.
Any other pieces of advice you can give our folks watching?
Know the prices, know the price history, know price movements. I mean, obviously at Sports Card Investor, that's one thing. We're trying to bring more data to the market. That's what we've done with our Market Movers app and our Sports Card Investor app that people use. Because you have to have, obviously you want to have a sense of where the market has been on a particular card or a particular box so you can get a sense of, what a fair price would be. But do your homework, do your research, and then invest in what you love.
So I'm currently flipping my Alex Morgan lot. I'm going to take that cash and invest in modern baseball.
Okay.
I'm going to go, like Acuna because his numbers are down. I can't afford Trout. Can't afford a Trout rookie. Maybe a Tatis? Any suggestions?
Tatis is already red hot. You have to realize
I know.
that.
Well,
he's
and
already,
Vladdy Jr. is too.
Yeah, And that's another example. Vlad had an off year.
Yes,
and they shortened,
his cards dipped a lot last year.
You think about that. Vlad and Ohtani were great. I mean, I love baseball. As far as I'm concerned,
love it.
Baseball is, to me, if I was, I like soccer is not as traditional. I'm a American guy that didn't grow up on soccer.
Were based off of soccer.
Yes,
and rugby.
Yeah. But so if I personally would go for baseball right now, because I think that all the other sports took off for that 3-year run, and a lot of baseball, except for very few names, stayed behind. I like Ichiro cards. I like Pujols cards.
Yeah.
I like cards that are under the radar. You look at some of the rare Pujols cards that are out there. When he retires and he's starting to go to Hall of Fame, people are going to look at his stuff and say, how is this guy so cheap?
His stuff is cheap.
Right.
And Ichiro, too.
Yep.
I mean, just one of the best hitters in baseball history.
Yeah.
And his cards don't get enough respect.
Yep.
Plus, they're also very rare. There's, there's not, like the PSA 10 of Ichiro's Topps Chrome Rookie, it's low pop stuff. There's not a lot of it out there.
So it's a good time to buy modern baseball.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I'm a baseball girl. I've hosted some shows for MLB. My first job out of college was working for MLB Network, behind the camera in production. We need to get the younger generation to watch it. I think Topps is doing a good job with their cards, though.
Yep.
Shiny and cool.
I think Topps does a really good job.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Topps get an NBA license again. I think Topps does an excellent job with their product.
That would be awesome.
Yep.
That would be awesome. Any predictions, Geoff? I'll leave you with that.
Predictions
on the
for
market,
what?
the market overall, the hobby.
The market. This is my prediction is this will be looked back at as the golden period to buy sports cards, because I think
golden period.
the golden period.
With
There
an
you go.
eye, right?
There you go. Because we saw the market get incredibly hot in December, January, and February. The prices ran up like wild. It got a little overheated. The growth that you saw those 3 months was a bit unsustainable. When you look at the charts, it's just this crazy spiking. Whenever you see that, you got to be careful and cautious. And it got a little overheated. Prices have corrected and come down the other side. They corrected, in my opinion. You had a lot of fearful people who were wondering, is the sports card hobby going away? Was it only fueled by COVID and nothing else? And now that COVID is letting up, is there going to be no interest in sports cards? Are they all going to become worthless? Is this the junk wax era 2.0? These are all things that I see in my YouTube comments and that people are saying. And you see this.
Yeah.
And you see all the other metrics too. Like I can see obviously the number of people using my app each day, view counts on my YouTube videos, everything like that. I'm like, guys, interest has never been higher.
Yep.
Interest does not always correlate to market prices, but interest has never been higher. And interest means that in the long term, the market will continue to grow and be strong.
Do you think
so? This is a great time to buy this dip right now, and we're already starting to come back out of it. Like the dip we're already past the low point, in my opinion. We're already starting to see some stuff go back up again.
I'm a little worried,
I think it's a
though,
great
because
time to buy.
did COVID sort of inflate the hobby a little bit? Because a lot of people were home doing what I did. They got into it.
Well, to me, you have a series of. To me, I think the hobby has been on an uptrend since 2009.
Okay.
I think in 2016, the single most important event happened in the hobby. In 2016, we had an auction called the Great American Card Auction, and we had a Honus Wagner in there that set a record. But somebody talked me into putting a LeBron James card, into that auction, and it was only for $10,000 and up auction. I said, well, this 2003 card, it's not going to sell for like. He goes, trust me, Ken, I think you can get $100,000. The card sold for $312,000. It opened everybody's eyes. It got a lot more attention than the Wagner. It happens to be the Ultimate Logo Man that now is appraised at $15 million. And during after that time, things kept going up and up and up. A big event happened in late 2019. We had a big exquisite find, and we set records on every card. And then, again, pre-COVID, in January of 2020, we had a $6 million sale of modern cards capped off by a $900,000 sale of the LeBron Jordan Logo Man. And that set an all-time record. And since then, yes, COVID gave a spike. The Last Dance gave a spike, and the lockdowns really just, put a rocket fuel on it. And I thought it was going to slow up at the end of the year. I thought it was going to slow up in 2020 summer. I thought it was going to slow up after the vaccines. It is not. And I'll leave everybody with a key statistic. To register at Goldin, you need to go in, you need to log in, you need to give all your information, you need to give your credit card information. It's not like somebody who's just casual will do it just to get emails. Our user base in 2021, the first 6 months, the number of new registers is up 500% over the same period in 2020.
Right.
Okay, the other barometer I use, I have access to more information because I see what's going on, but is I use the retail. And luckily my best friend in the business, everybody out there knows the name MJ Holding. It's my best friend in the business for 25 years, and I just call him up. And I ask Matt, hey, how are sales this week? Are things staying on the shelves? He goes, that's his biggest problem. Nothing ever hits the shelves. If it does, it's gone instantly. And he tells me his business is up dramatically. And he tells me his third quarter is going to beat last year's third quarter. And last year's third quarter was, quote unquote, height of the mania. So with those market indicators that are not available to everybody, that's what I look at for a great future.
I hope you all wrote that down because I did. I've learned so much. Jeff and obviously Ken, thank you so much for joining me. Great
Thank
discussion.
you.
I'm going to let you guys rip some wax. That's a wrap today for Goldin Live. I want to thank Ken Goldin and Jeff Wilson. We still have 2 full days left here at the National. For more Goldin coverage, check us out on our social platforms at Goldin Auctions. I'm going to hit the road. I got lots to learn. I got my eye on a nice, shiny Acuna Jr. card. That's all I got for today. Thanks for joining us.